Boom. What's up,
Oh,
fam?
we're live. How's it going?
What's the dealie? How's everybody doing?
Yeah, not much. D-Raj?
Namaste, Hexicans.
Yeah, it's it. Namaste.
So,
Just before we go,
yeah,
just give me a moment. I have to do some housekeeping. Let me just check and make sure the stream's good. Sound check 1, 2. Sound check. Sounds good. From Twitch.
Yep,
Chat's
I
working
hear you guys.
fine.
You good?
Crypto King, your volume is a bit low. I don't know if that's normal.
All right, I'll check it
Actually,
out.
no. Crypto King, don't do anything. I can do something on my end. Do you want to sound off, sound check?
Sound check 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
Good.
A lot better. Diraj, can you sound check? I think you're a bit low as well. Diraj?
sound check 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. Awesome. Just give me a second. Let me just make sure everything's going properly. Yep. Got branding, that's all good. Oh, no, hang on. Brilliant. Okay, that's going well. All right, I think we can start. I'll do housekeeping. As you can probably tell, I'm missing Uncle. Uncle's a bit late. Actually, I think Crypto Vince is still in bed, so I'll let him sleep in for about half hour, and then I will probably remote control his computer and turn on his webcam to see what he's doing. Other than that, we're definitely streaming live on YouTube, Twitch, Daily Motion. Frame rates look really, really good. Let me check the chats. Hey, Miss Exquisite. Konnichiwa. Are you coming on stream at some point? Hopefully, internet's a lot better. But yeah, we'll help you try and get online if you want to test a couple of things. Just let us know. I think most of us missed you anyway. Let's have a look. Hex and Excess. Thanks for that. Are we having a pump now? Hopefully a bit later. Daily looks a bit shoddy, but that's okay. T-Bird,
Right on.
what's going on, mate? Yo, Spike. Good morning from where you are. It's good evening here in Asia. Brilliant. All right. I think let's. Do you guys want to start with something light first while we wait for everyone else to join us, or?
I could start with something interesting happened. I think it was on the Friday night hangout. Um, Captain RG3 reached out to me. I think it was like 4 in the morning for me, and apparently, if you guys saw that Jams Jetson guy, Hexican, he was on with Crypto Blood and some other guy, the Gentleman of Crypto channel, and Jams Jetson basically mentioned the flippening of Bitcoin by Hex, saying that Hex is going to go to number 1 eventually, and we all know that's going to be true. Eventually, we will be in the top 5. Eventually, number 1. But I guess that took the Hexkin community by storm. So RG3 reached out to me and trying to get Jams Jetson on the Friday night hangout. So that morning I was, reaching out to him and trying to figure out how to get him. And I finally just said, you know what, I'm just going to call the guy. And I called him on Telegram and he answered. And I was like, hey, can you want to jump on the Friday night hangout? He's like, yeah, I'll be on. Let me put my baby to sleep. So if you guys missed that, check it out. He came on the FN hangout, and he really had a great story about him. So yeah, he was on there for a good maybe hour. So yeah, he was a good interview.
Yeah, absolutely.
James
Enjoyed that.
Jetson. Yep. So that was good.
That was all you, Crypto King. T-Bird saying great work. That's awesome.
Oh,
What's going on, D-Raj?
So first of all, if people are wondering why I have an photo of me instead of like a video feed, uh, actually I wanted to point to something said on a previous stream. So I ended up listening to myself speaking on stream, and now I am scared to show my face. So this is a 8-year-old photo of me, which looks much better than me. But
Hey,
yeah, we have so be, before I speak uh, again, if you're it's we forgot to give the disclaimer. This is not
yeah,
financial advice.
absolutely.
But if you look at what we are saying and go back to some of our past streams, what we say is quite good advice in general. So, like a good Indian, I would say, take it and go.
Hey, D-Raj.
Yeah, yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry, no, go ahead. I interrupted you. I will do it at the end when you finish talking.
No, I had kind of finished talking my, but
Okay, cool.
we had, but there are, we have a lot of news from both India and the Philippines. So yeah, I think we have shared some of I have already shared some of the links with you. So
Yep,
we
sounds good.
can bring that.
No problem.
What?
Just give me a second. Now, the other thing I wanted to say was I think I found you on TV, and I like the expression of you on TV. It sounded like you knew, you're in a good place, and you can't really brag about it. I like that look. I'll play it, and then I'll let the chat decide.
Uh, yeah, that's that was a long time ago. The younger me with uh, I had not gotten so tan from the sun that by that time, but it, that kind of look is what I'm having like for the past couple of weeks, because you see, seeing my hex holdings and those of and the other cryptos, and looking at everybody crying about their losses, I want to laugh, but I can't. I can't. So that's a very appropriate.
That's the best expression. Oh God.
no.
No, awesome. Yeah, sure. I think I can probably start with you. Just give me a second. I will bring that up. So this is some news from the Philippines. There we go. Do you want to talk about that, or do you want me to roll the clip?
I just roll the clip a bit, and I have some links, like my views about it. So
Sure. Okay. All right. Rolling clip.
Jollibee Foods Corporation closes down one of its branches in Bonifacio Global City for 3 days after a customer posted a complaint online. A Facebook post by customer Alik Perez early Wednesday, June 2 says she ordered fried chicken through a food delivery app late Tuesday, June 1, but discovered it was a deep fried towel.
Yuck.
Would you like some towels on the side?
but what McDonald's has commented is, yeah, our competitors are already throwing in the towel. Uh, uh,
Oh, Jesus.
the thing is, these things, there are a couple of things I would like to point out. Like this news became kind of international, and this has happened uh, like within a week of Jollibee opening its first branch in the UK, or I think it's London. So it kind of strange for me. Like could be an what you call insider thing, like but that's very unlikely. The thing is, people are were if you actually visit a Jollibee, you will find how crazy work like busy the workers are and how much stress they are going through, especially like they are already at minimum pay, and with whatever is going on around the world, stress levels are high, these kind of accidents can happen. So please feel for the people who are working in the uh, fast food industry, as be it Jollibee, be it McDonald's, KFC. So yes, it is kind of disgusting, but please have sympathy for those workers there. And so, yeah, it does look very much like a chicken. So some mistakes do happen. Yeah.
Yep.
So, so yeah. Or in India, or there is a Indian dialogue from an Indian movie, like बड़े बड़े देशों में छोटी छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं. In big countries, small things do happen. It would be the literal translation, but it's yeah. So that was one of the other news, and yeah, we can move ahead. This was the this was this is what I was searching for, like because I had spoken about this in one of earlier that, like, in the previous, just last week we had an incident where banks had shut down accounts of crypto exchanges because and lots of people were unable to deposit their money in crypto, but RBI has that is the Reserve Bank of India, sent a notification to the to those banks that as long as they are compliant with AML, KYC, and other things, you cannot have uh, you cannot conduct your business this way. You cannot block uh, accounts without any without any proper justification or without any reason. So
Seems like they're
that
trying to find it, Warren. Because I mean, here's the facts. They ban it, they ban it, they ban it, and for what? To have to retract every time. It's pretty sick. Pretty sick. Every country does the same nonsense.
yeah,
People don't get it. You know.
yeah. And we spoke about that on the previous team already. And I also mentioned again that there has already been a Supreme Court judgment regarding this, that even are not cryptocurrency is not illegal. So, and even though it cannot be uh, used as a legal tender, now the term legal tender uh, is quite what you call
Tricky one, right?
debatable, but
It's a tricky one, right?
yeah, tricky one. We will, I think, yeah, it boils down to semantics, and I think we have our Papa B would be a better person to explain the semantics about that. Um, we will have him on next stream. Maybe he can do that. So yeah. So bottom line, crypto is not illegal. They cannot uh, ban it or cannot ban your accounts for using it. But please don't keep crypto on exchanges. Keep it in your personal wallets, which I have said multiple times. And, and this, yeah, the next, this is from the Philippines. Now, Gcash is the what you can say is pay of the Philippines, which already, and they actually have a tie up with Alipay. So it is the most used wallet or what digital payments method, and like almost everyone has an account. The thing is, it is by the Globe Telecom, so you can use it without using a smartphone. You can use it on a and what what is the uh, term for an old mobile phone? But yeah, with the T9 pad, you can still SMS money, and it is become if it and it has a separate section for savings, so people can easily buy. If crypto becomes available on Gcash, it a lot of people will have access to crypto. But again, the thing is whether they will be actually allowing real crypto, or just like PayPal, they are going to have a virtual crypto. People are going to have access to paper crypto. So let's see. I'm hoping for the best, but at least more people will be aware of crypto, and more eyeballs means more higher markets. So
40 million users is nothing to be shy about. It's a lot of people.
yeah, and everybody uses almost everybody. And the thing is, you get a discount if you are what recharging your mobile prepaid on mobile if you're using that. So most people use it. So and there are at least I use it mainly for that.
It's pretty cool. 40% of all Filipinos use them. Nice. That's a lot. So they can do what insurance coverage. They can shop. I suppose you would save money. You have an incentive to use the app. You can invest. Oh, nice. As low as 50p. Wow, 50p saves. And buy insurance. Wow. Cool.
Just another company to make sure they stay relevant as they transition to the cryptocurrency world.
Yep. Hey, I'll take that off for 2 seconds. What's up, Wales? What's up, Uncle? What's going on?
What's going on, guys?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What up?
Yeah. Hey, D-Raj, have you got any more news you want me to cover? Something you want me to put up there, or I'll hand it over?
Not really.
Cool. All right. Who wants to go next? Crypto King, Japan? Anything at all?
No, nothing special here. Still trying to figure out what's happening with the Olympics. I'm still not sure what's going to happen with it, but yeah, that's all I got for Japan.
What's the deal with this one? This is what I found. It's been floating around. I don't know why they're floating this around.
Yeah, I saw that earlier too. But notice how they throw that term around, right? It's all about that term. It's not about anything else. You guys got to pay attention to that.
Legal tender.
Because that's the setup. That's the setup, right? That's the setup for them to come and try to tax your shit. So just remember how taxes work, right? And if you don't know, educate yourself and go read. It's nobody's job here to tell you, because taxes are a very serious scam. And if you don't know how to operate within that framework, you're gonna get fucked. So I suggest you educate yourself.
Is it related to the Mount Gox, the Mount Gox thing?
Sure.
Yeah.
Probably.
Hell yeah. All that BTC coming out. What do you think? They're not gonna miss the opportunity.
It's gonna come out in October?
Yeah, in October 15th, I think, or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not gonna let the opportunity pass them by. You out your mind? Oh no, sir. They want all that money, and that's what it's all about. People got to really wake up and realize what's going on. And it's not about doing the right thing and all that lame shit they try to gas you up with. It's not anything about that. They're out here lying to you left and right. You better wake up, learn. Yeah, you better learn. You out here paying taxes on your crypto. That's you giving your money away. And that's a fact. But learn how to read.
Yeah.
You don't gotta take my word for it. It's right there. So you definitely better learn how to read.
That is right.
Just give me a sec, you guys. I'm just trying to wake Vince up.
So while you do that, I actually have some positive crypto news to share, which is rare nowadays. I just have to confirm or get the clip, and maybe I'll do that while we're on the stream. But I don't know if you guys know who Brian Brooks is, but he's a new comptroller of the Office of the Currency for the U.S. He's a new guy in charge of the Office of the Comptroller of Currency. So what does that mean? What that means is, hold on,
sorry.
I wasn't watching. It's all right, because I wasn't watching. I don't want to miss anything.
No, all good.
Oh, all right. I was just trying to laugh too.
Brian Brooks.
So who is Brian Brooks? Brian Brooks was I'm trying to remember where he was before. He was the guy that worked at Coinbase. He was like the Coinbase's general counsel. I forgot where else he worked. Hold on, let me look up this guy's.
Oh, Brian
Yeah,
Brooks.
he's the acting comptroller of the currency right now from May 29th, 2020. So this is while Trump was still in office. And he's still serving, He's still serving today.
Really?
Yeah.
Despite him, I thought that was like isn't that a conflict of interest? Is it not?
Him acting as the
'Cause he's
comptroller of the currency?
Yeah, and he's a CEO. Isn't he a CFO or
No, he was.
No, he's the CLO.
CLO? Gotcha.
CLO.
He was. He no longer is.
Former.
And
yeah. He's a former. Yeah. Oh, he's gonna head Binance US.
He's already there.
He's already there.
He's already there.
Yeah.
He's already there.
Okay.
So here's the thing. He is inside, right? And that's kind of what matters, because a lot of people think the prior administration was anti-crypto, but they actually were not. And if you understand how these people speak and understand how the game works, it'll be pretty clear to you that they're actually pro it. Why is that? Because there is no other financial system that's ready to go. Period. There isn't one, right? And that's the only way to solve the actual problems that exist worldwide. It's not reform or any of that funky shit people like to talk about. All that shit is bullshit. Reform is a word for we're going to make you look left while we do some more fucked up shit over here on the right. That's all that is. But this gentleman was on tape saying, and I'm going to find it because I need to find it. I just haven't been able to find it. But I haven't looked either because I just haven't had the time. Basically stating that we already have the new financial system that we need to basically stop using the current one. And I don't know if you guys get what that means, but I'm not going to say it, I'm not going to spell it out crystal clear because I don't want the stream to get fucked up or anything. But listen to what I'm not saying and listen to what I am saying. The infrastructure is already laid out. And the only way to fix the actual problems that we have, like realistically, is eliminating the current financial system and replacing it with something else. And I've been saying this since I jumped on the stream. Because as I've noted before, and maybe I should throw this slide in there again, the whole economy is just one pie, right? And that pie only changes in size with respect to the scale at which you're operating, whether it's global, national, international, whatever the case is, right? Municipal, whatever. You're still dealing with one economic pie, right? And the reality of the matter is that the bigger government is, the less there is for us. And it's that simple. There's no debating that. That's just how it works. And if somebody thinks they can prove me otherwise, go right ahead. I'd love to see you try. But just don't forget that, because that is the problem. You have governments worldwide maintaining rates at zero, meaning their cost to borrow is free, right? Which is their whole hope, right? At least from this side of the ledger, because you have to remember, they still have to pay. Governments have to pay central banks back. But what you don't know is that they have to pay at that, damn, you know what? I didn't really go into that. But so just because our rates are zero, right? Or you see the rate as it being zero in the market, in reality, governments pay the 6% dividend to the central banks. And I didn't touch on that because it's really not important. It's only important now because people have to understand what's about to happen. Yes, they want to replace it with CBDCs, but you have to understand they already exist. You see, everybody's been fooled already because nobody's paying attention. This is why Bitcoin maxis are looking like fools, right? I mean, that conference is, just wow. But this is very important, right? There is nothing tied to the value of a crypto. And it's just like Balaji is saying. right? It's true. Because what happens if nobody is there to pay that debt back or receives that payment in kind for that debt? That debt no longer exists. You get what I'm saying? So it's very important to understand what is actually happening, right? Like they have people thinking a lot of things which aren't true, and that's your opportunity, right? Big window of opportunity, because by the time everybody else figures this out, we're gonna be fucking retired on the beach in Bali, just getting richer. Straight up fact. Because you have to understand how this works, right? Like these people legit told you they're gonna bankrupt the whole system. They already told you, and they're doing it, right? This is what printing all of these dollars is for. Those dollars aren't staying in the U.S., right? I mean, I think we're all pretty clear on that, right? The dollars are going everywhere, worldwide, right? And if you look at any piece of legislation that's passed ever since, 2021 came into fruition, you'll know where all the majority of the funds being printed or being distributed is overseas, like it's been for probably the past 70 years, right? So what does that mean, right? And this is where Mr. Milkshake Theory gets it all wrong, because he has it backwards. In reality, the dollar has to crash before it goes up. It has to, right? Because there is no other way out of the scam first, right? As a reserve currency, you cannot hyperinflate before you go bust. Then that means you're not a reserve currency. That means you function like everything else, and that's not possible. That's exactly why we've had the market that we've had for the past 12 years, right? And that's the disconnect in the milkshake theory. If you guys aren't familiar with that, don't waste your time looking it up. It's not really worth knowing. But for those that
Yeah,
are, there you go. D, you probably
yeah,
know, D-Rock.
yeah. So to explain the in brief, like the milkshake theory is from some movie where the villain says like, "I'm going to drink your milkshake," and the context is that seeing all the other currencies crash, people will put all their savings in dollars, and that will cause the
Hyperinflation, right?
yeah, dollar to rise in price, and that is what the dollar will drink everybody's milkshake. But
Right.
but uh, but that has been better debunked by a guy. I don't know the exact, and he has put up the dollar Bloody Mary theory. Uh, so it's like people getting an hangover. When once you get an hangover, probably the best way, one of the ways, is to have a Bloody Mary. So have a little more alcohol, or in India, what we call as an utar. Like people drink if you're having a headache from hangover, drinking too much on a Saturday, then you have, once you wake up, you have a little more on the Sunday. So it's like that. So in order to for a dollar to keep up, it has to inflate more, and that kind of becomes a loop which can lead to an hyperinflation, and therefore the crash of the dollar. It's quite complicated. Yeah, beyond. But to be true, a lower dollar crashing, I won't expect a crash, but dollar decreasing in value will help with the American exports, though it may have some impact on the imports as well. But yeah, I say I would like to quote Warren Buffett. Uh, yeah, don't bet against America. That's what I say. Don't bet against America, and so the dollar decrease in value for a little while, but it's not going anywhere.
Right. So let me finish up on off of the back of what D just said, because it's important to understand the big picture, right? Because the big picture is exactly what causes people to go broke, because they want to just focus on one thing when that one thing actually doesn't even matter. So the important thing to realize is that when a reserve currency is on its last leg, like the dollar is, the worst thing that can happen to it is that people start to rebel against it in mass. Now, what does that mean? When you have countries just saying we're not going to trade, we're not going to settle international transactions in that currency. And that's actually been happening since 2009.
Right.
Not to the, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just
Oh,
agreeing
okay,
with you.
cool. Yeah. No, I'm just, and maybe I'll do a stream on that because people really need to understand what's actually happening. It's cool to understand what a reserve currency is, but you need to understand how they end, because the way they end is exactly like this: slowly, 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 then all of a sudden. Literally, that's it. There's no other way about it. So just because it looks like it's all good now does not mean that it is. Because let me tell you, it's not. And if you want to understand why it's not, let me break it down to you like this. The US government's balance sheet has basically zero cash on it. Zero. Everything else is straight debt. So think about it like this. If you worked every month and you made $100,000 a month, but your expenses were, let's say, 2 billion, does it sound like you're good? Because that's actually what's going on with pretty much every government on the planet. And the only one that gets away with it for now and not for long, and these streams are part of the reason that's going to be true, is the US. You have to understand how markets work. Just because some government, some third party entity wants something to exist doesn't mean it's going to. There's a reason things change, and that is the only constant. So don't get it confused thinking that just because something's been here, it's going to stay here. Very, 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 very major oversight on anybody's analytical anything. Just don't do that because you're going to get
Yep.
fucked. Period. No
Yeah,
doubt about it.
yeah. I think I remember hearing either it was Jim Willie or Bill Holter or one of those guys that speaks on, not on the mainstream, that they were mentioning that there were some shipments being turned around because that the ships were demanding to be paid in either silver or gold. And I think they even showed a form where they were showing the form where they would have to fill out for payment, and on the form it said something about demanding physical gold or silver to be paid for the shipment. Yeah.
It's not a game, man. It's not a game. People are stupid until they're not. And then when they're not, good luck to you because it's going to be hard to pull the wool over their eyes at the same clip, continuously. Like, you got to really be aware of what is actually going on, right? Like, don't get your news from, Reuters and shit and FT. Like, you're not going to get any real news from there. You're just not. Yahoo, all that nonsense. You're not going to get any real news that's going to help you make money. You're just not. Period. Like,
Yeah.
let's just get that out of the way. I've never said that before, but come on. If that shit was true, everybody would be rich, right? Like, understand what's going on. All that stuff you're reading is for fun. It's not real. It's to get you to think what's not actually happening. And that's what you have to understand. Because by the time you see that, it's already old news and it doesn't even matter. It's come and gone. Hold on, guys.
Or someone says, one of the other alternative media sources says, do the opposite of what the mainstream media is telling you to do. Pretty much for everything.
Yeah. I suppose being a contrarian would definitely pay off in the long run, I would imagine.
Yeah. You can't always play that strategy. They can use reverse.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, fine.
What I was saying is, yeah, but sometimes they do use reverse psychology. Like they are expecting you to do opposite, so they will
Yeah, a lot of it
say
is a
the right
setup.
thing. So
A lot of it is definitely a setup.
kind of beware. And if the thing with this about the national debt and the whole system is it's debt based money. So like example, I if I borrow $10 from let's say Crypto King and I give him an IOU note that I will pay you $10 on Tuesday. Uh, then yeah, then Crypto King wants to buy something else. He gives it to middle class working men and says, "Yeah, you can get $10 from Dheeraj. You can use this IOU note." So and then yeah, middle class goes to Vince. He wants to get something from Vince. He gives it to Vince. Now this IOU note can be circulating around for as long as I don't pay back Crypto King $10. That that is how debt based money works, and that is why the US has so much debt, and that is not going to be paid off anytime soon.
Nope.
So,
It surely is
so
not.
it so w- at the end of the day, this is what a legal tender is a government given IOU note.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So
You nailed it,
technically,
baby.
so technically, i- if you write a IOU note on a piece of a tissue, that is also, and people are willing to trade with it or accept it, it is worth $10. That paper is worth
Right.
10.
That's exactly right. That's
I mean,
exactly
keep in
right.
mind that the U.S. dollar only exists. I think is what is it? Wales like 5% of the U.S. currencies in physical form.
3 is the
Three.
last
3.
updated
Yeah.
figure. Yeah. And it
Yeah,
might
so
be actually
3%.
less at this point.
Yeah, so there's no way we could
It's,
physically pay the 38 or whatever it is, 33
this was
trillion dollars.
before all the printing, right? Like this number is
Right.
clearly probably like 1-2% by now. Has to be.
Yep. Yep.
Because they've been printing I don't even know how much they printed. At least 10 trillion or more
Yep.
since in the last 18 months,
Yep.
right? At least 10 trillion. At least. I mean, it's unfathomable, right? Like like if we stay in this monetary, like this is what people need to understand. If we stay in this monetary system, there is no future for anybody. Period. It does not matter who you are, how rich you are, or any of that. Straight to God, honest truth, and I'm not even religious. That's just a mathematical fact. Ask all the schmucks in Germany, 1920 something. They'll tell you.
Yep.
They thought they were good with them wheelbarrows of money until they no longer weren't. Because then they needed those wheelbarrows of money to buy one motherfucking thing. And that's how debt-based money works. Because note, while Crypto King never paid D them $10, those $10 sure kept on traveling around the circle.
Yep.
And that became one over-leveraged market just based off of one $10 IOU. Right? It got levered up like at least 5 times because that IOU got passed around to 5 people. And that's how it works. So it's literally on us to fix our financial situation. Don't wait on them to do it for you because they're clearly not interested in doing that. If they were, we wouldn't have this situation in the first place. That's what you have to like come to terms with. Like just realize nobody's out here doing anything for you. That's a lie. That's why they censor everything, right? That's why they shut everything the fuck down. They don't want people talking. That's what social distancing was all about. Straight up. It's not about anything else. It's about us not sharing information that's worth sharing. Period. Like, honestly, like, look at the facts. Look at everything that's coming out now. It's not a coincidence, right? Like, you can't think it's a coincidence. Like, everything happens when it's supposed to, not a moment before. And it took me a while to realize that, but that's how shit has to be. Because then nobody can say anything. Because it's like, hey, look, you had a whole year to figure this out, a whole 18 months to figure this out, and you opted not to, right? You opted to be a myopic schmuck that just toes the line that's given to you. And everybody's going to pay that price one way or another. It's just a matter of when, because it's coming, right? Like all of these headlines, not a coincidence. So keep your eyes to the ground, man, and keep your ears open because change is coming, man.
Yeah, and one more thing I wanted to point out or rather discuss is uh, there are this the term inflation. It's kind of um, mm, what you call confusing or there
It
are
is
two
confusing.
types of inflation. One is money inflation, and the second one is price inflation. These two
Correct.
are money inflation is increasing the number of units that is going on and what we see in the money supply, and price inflation is the rise of prices. Now usually they go hand in hand, but not always. It is only when those that extra money that is printed comes to market and competes with the demand, competes in for demand of good. That is when we see price inflation. So because I wanted to cover this point because it relates very much to hex, and there are many people saying that, oh, there is too much inflation going on and there is too much of supply. Well, the supply does not matter as long as total supply does not matter as long as it doesn't come into market for selling or buying. So that's what I wanted. Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, you know it's funny because I actually find myself explaining that to people a lot. They don't realize that even when you hear economists or people in finance or on TV or whatever, even when they're talking about inflation and they say they don't see any, they're not talking about what you think. They're talking about credit markets strictly. So if rates aren't going up in those markets, then to them there is no inflation. And this is the biggest thing that people don't know. You're welcome. Straight up.
Right, and
Biggest
they don't.
scam in biggest scam in history. You stay getting scammed. Like
Yeah,
it's crazy.
they don't
Go
look
ahead, Grizzle King. I'm sorry.
the data. The day-to-day, fuel cost and food cost is not calculated in their inflation rate
Oh, you know
mechanism.
what's funny? I'm not even talking about the math. I'm just talking about what they're talking about. We can go into the math right after that. I'm just talking about what's coming out of their mouth. right? Like what they're thinking about isn't what you're thinking about. That's what I'm saying.
Right. I agree.
Sorry, guys. But you know that right there is the biggest thing. It is major, major, because people don't know that. They think that there really is no inflation because they said so. Like a lot of people, right? Clearly not anybody here, but like normal people that like listen to people like that. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of crazy because you know you go to the supermarket, you spend more every day than you did yesterday, and
Right.
people have the goal to say there's no inflation. It's crazy.
I think
It's
Ron
crazy.
Paul. I think Ron Paul asked Bernanke, like, do you actually go shopping? Do you pump your own gas? And of course they don't.
Mm-hmm.
But
Of course they
he
don't.
probably lied and said, yeah, I go to the store, but no, he doesn't know what people are paying for,
Mm.
day to day goods, dozen eggs, a loaf of bread. He does not know. He doesn't care.
Doesn't need to.
And
Doesn't need to.
speaking of normal people experiencing inflation, my experience from buying milk itself, like this is something especially due to the impact on import and export from certain, like my favorite brand was an Australian brand of milk from, I think it was called Southdale something, and it was my favorite brand because it was the cheapest one in the food store supermarket aisle. But now that brand is not available because imports have been restricted. So instead of that, I inevitably have to buy a different brand which is higher. So that is also one of the way in prices are being inflated, because yeah, there are no substitutes available, cheaper substitutes available, and that is the crazy world we are living in. Or to quote, this world is rotten. Yeah, those who are anime fans may know which anime that is from, but
Mm. I'm not versed in that department.
we are eh,
Hey, talking about animes, what's up, Crypto Vince? Did you wake
Oh,
up finally?
hey,
Or?
what's up? Yeah, yeah, I've been having trouble sleeping lately, and yeah, I just kind of probably stayed up later than I should have yesterday. Yeah, slept through my alarms and shit. Yeah,
No, that's all right. I think you're gonna have to call it early and don't trade those doggy coins.
yeah. Speaking of anime, I think D-Raj is referring to Death Note.
yeah, yes.
There we go.
Nice. Hey, Uncle.
Yeah.
Uncle. Oh my God. He's gone.
Oh, I think he went AFK.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Uncle has muted his mic while he's eating fried rice.
Right.
Yeah, right. You wish.
Yeah, remote activation of his camera. Failed. Shit. Okay, I can't do that.
You can't do that. No way.
No, good.
So what's up?
Hey, yeah, Uncle, you want to anything about good old Singapore or not?
Nothing on Singapore, but I think something's been going on in China. So, like, they've been banning the crypto influencers.
Did you see this one, by the way?
DBS. That's not new. That's not. New. So DBS is the one of the biggest banks in Singapore, and I think Asia. I think in general, Southeast Asia at least. So they're quite they're leading the tech space. I mean, in banking. So I'm not surprised that they're among the first banks to embrace crypto.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's gaining, but yeah.
I don't know if this one is new to you. Hold on.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah.
One.
So
this was just made today or at 1 a.m. Or actually yesterday. Sorry, my bad. It's gone past.
You got it from the Crypto SG.
Yep.
Again. Okay.
A few days ago, someone by the name of Crystal Blah, Facebook Blah,
Crystal Blah,
me, asking me if where I was based and what I was doing. She asked me to add her WhatsApp, of course. Hang on, 60. 60 is that Malaysia? Oh,
yeah.
60,
Malaysia. 60 is that's Malaysia.
Yeah. In our conversation on WhatsApp, she asked if I was keen to earn some income within 30 minutes. I told her I was keen. And she told me that she would guide me through the process. Well, great, genius. Where's the next page? Sorry, I'm trying to find the next page.
Go. Yeah,
this one.
Go to the next page. Yeah. Zoom in.
Where?
Yep. First.
Oh my God.
You should read this.
Yeah, this is awesome. Sorry, I'll just put it full screen if everyone's reading at the same time.
Nice.
First she told me to download the app called Binance. She told me to purchase any of the coins that were offered by the sellers. Like any coin? Are you serious? Okay.
Yeah, any coin.
Anyway. On the 30th of the 5th, my first investment was 2,000 Singapore dollars. I paid purchase via PayNow. What's Crypto Night? What the hell is this?
No idea.
Is it a human? I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know.
I'll be given a purchase link. Oh, there you go. So this is a link. What the hell is RN? Yeah,
I'm thinking that the Crypto Night might be that person's like referral code thing.
The name of that was associated with that phone number because we use PayNow with a phone number. So we can send money to a phone number. So we just link to a bank account.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And it says, I created an account on the website. I was told to contact customer service via chat, and he gave me a link that I received via Binance app. After speaking to customer service, which obviously is phony customer service, I had to wait around 30 minutes before it showed how much I had earned on the website. I earned $200 first time. And on the 31st, I made 2 more purchases amounting to $5,000 on the Binance app. After giving the customer service the link to my purchase, I waited 30 minutes again, and this time I've earned another $1,000 US. It's inconsistent, 200. Oh, okay, no, gotcha. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So on the 1st of the 6th, I made 5 purchases amounting to $19,000 Singapore dollars. Holy shit. On the Binance app as per previous transactions. I had to give the link to the customer service. After waiting 30 minutes, I had earned $3,500. Okay. But this time, I was not able to withdraw my money from the website. I contacted the customer service again to check what was wrong. They informed me I had to make a full trade. Whatever the hell that means. I contacted Crystal again, and she informed me I need to invest another 25 grand to make another trade on the site before I can withdraw my profits. And obviously,
it's one of those fake exchange scams.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really Binance. Yeah.
No.
Go on.
So 90 plus 5, that's 24,000. 24 plus 26,000.
26K.
3 days.
Okay. Wow. Nice money.
Okay. I think what was the last page? It was the last page.
That's
Hold
the 3rd of June. Now that's like 3 days ago.
Yep. This is
Yeah.
the last page. I checked with my friends and they informed me that I've been scammed. I confronted Crystal. No shit, right?
No
She
shit.
immediately blocked
No
me on
No shit.
WhatsApp and
No shit, bro.
yeah. What do you think?
No
I
shit, bro.
wish to state that for my transactions, I did make a problem. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. You
I
lost
did not-
25K. You lost
just
25K,
coping.
You shit.
Yeah.
You
I
idiot.
did not directly withdraw the money from the website. I had to get a link on the website, link to the Binance app, and from there sell to the other people.
What the?
Seriously?
Seriously, yeah, seriously. So.
You have to ask for your DeFi badge. You got DeFi badge?
You got badge? Yeah.
Yo, I love how that's on a piece of paper too.
Uh,
2021.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Like really?
Yeah. Yeah, be
Is that how
careful,
we're
guys.
doing it?
Yeah. Be careful, guys.
just to again,
I got.
just
What
to mention, there are a lot of similar messaging on Telegram. If you are in the Hex or Pulse Telegram group, where there will be a lot of good-looking female pictures messaging you whether you want to make an investment, earn money. So, but and I have been getting many of them. My response is usually, I am making enough profit from Hex. Just send news.
Yeah,
Just say no.
that kind of thing happens on every messaging platform. It happens
Just say
a
no.
lot on Discord too.
Discord is the worst, bro. Discord is really the worst. It's way worse than Telegram with that kind of stuff, in my opinion.
For me,
and
my experience has actually been the opposite.
Really?
I've gotten a lot more on Telegram. Yeah,
That's interesting. Wow. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I get a whole I don't really even use Discord. I just keep it open because I talk to one person on there. But
I don't use Discord.
I get a ton. Wow, I must have at least 50 just spam messages here.
Yeah, I just got I just got DM'd yesterday by the fake. What's her name? Altcoin Sarah? What?
Altcoin Sarah.
Yeah, fake one. Yeah, fake one.
That's funny.
Yeah. The thing about Discord is people can only DM you if you're in the same server as them. So that means that the Hex Discord group probably needs some cleanup because there's probably some scammers lurking in there.
Yeah.
They would just kick them, then they wouldn't have access to your handle. Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah.
Careful of pretty women offering you stuff.
Yeah, I mean, respect your pocket, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's your hard-earned money. Don't just be giving it away by doing
this one. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this one's
wild stuff.
This one's wild.
Check it.
We are.
Does anyone actually even know what damage Anonymous has done in the past?
Quite a bit. They've hacked into
I'm actually surprised. Did he actually show up for Bitcoin conference? I would hope he would.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Just as I thought.
No.
Because I think he would be flashed.
That's why Max got away with saying "fuck Elon" on stage.
Yeah, I think this is the one that will go down in infamy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, real
We're not selling. Fuck Elon. Fuck Elon.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty lame.
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say, while we're on the subject of Bitcoin, I don't know if you guys mentioned this or not, but I saw last night that El Salvador actually is paving the way for Bitcoin to become legal tender.
How about Venezuela?
I don't know. I don't know how they got that through.
Wales was mentioning that that's just a setup for them to start being able to tax it more easily.
Gotcha.
Because it's all about the words, you know. Once they fool people into thinking that it's like the dollar, then they will start giving it away.
Interesting.
But has anybody heard about Anonymous doing actually anything in the past couple of years?
No.
Done anything?
They've just posted, nice,
Yeah, the
videos
are cool and all.
Yeah.
Can we
Is that the
play that
latest?
video?
That's the latest avatar.
Latest troll.
Oh man, what a joke!
Yeah,
seriously, this was a joke.
So did anyone catch the Vitalik interview with Lex Friedman? So
nah.
Yep.
So they were talking about Elon as well. So yeah. So apparently Vitalik is he's not as opposed to Elon as the Bitcoin people are. So he's even talking about doing like a Doge ETH bridge or some shit. Oh my god, he's
Doge ETH.
Yeah. So I'm like, God, really? Yeah. So he's apparently he loves the dog coins as well. Vitalik, come on. Yeah.
And that's why you get nut jobs like this guy. Do you guys see this one?
So we're really excited about the progress of LDK.
Everybody, we have a very urgent announcement.
All right. I don't know what's. Yeah. Am I?
There you go.
It's crazy.
It's probably one of the more entertaining moments of the conference.
The Hexicans will show the Bitcoin maxis how to throw a conference in Las Vegas. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, that conference really seemed boring. I mean, the audience isn't even into it at all.
So much cringe, and it's what $1,500 to get in. What the?
Yeah.
For that kind of shit.
Yeah, God.
Go in and get baptized by Max Kaiser. What the fuck?
Oh man.
It's just
so cringe.
It's just a show.
Oh.
That's all it is.
So it's a Bitcoin BitConnect. What the?
Yeah. Bitcoin Act.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw this one.
But speaking of Elon,
go ahead. Go ahead, Diraj. Diraj? Hello.
No, my voice. Hello.
Yep, we're here.
Yeah. So we were speaking of Elon, just because we a title mentioning Elon as a couple of subscriber unsubscribed. I was looking at it. That's how how many people have drank the Elon Kool-Aid. But actually, I kind of don't uh, judge them or anything because I kind of feel the same about Richard Hart, and I think many of the Hexicans do the same way. But it's a different story altogether. But uh,
Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
and
Oh, what were you going to say about
that's why
middle class?
Oh no. Yeah, good. No, sorry, I was just talking about Charles earlier because I think just to show his defiance with, I suppose Vitalik streaming with Lex, he literally overstreamed on the same time, and he just went over it really, and then that comment was gold, like delayed again. Yeah, you think? Yeah, other than that, yeah, not much. Have a look. Yeah, please don't let, if you're going to be successful, don't let my friends get richer than me. I will do everything in my power to make Bitcoin succeed, which is do nothing and pray. Amen. Jesus. Let's have a look. What was the other one? Yeah. So if you're a rubbish trader, yeah, it's not the bull market. You just really good at what you do.
Are, yes.
Let's see. Oh yeah, definitely. Golf is coming. Oh,
Nice.
hang on. There was another one that I found.
while you're speaking of that, I see someone in the chat mentioning me. I'm just ghosting.
Nah. Welcome, RG.
Yeah.
Nice.
No.
What's up, Captain?
Oh shit.
Hey, so I'm just going through my little library and see. Oh no, actually, Iraj, tell me what this is.
Oh, yeah. This is our street food fest going on. Today was the last day. This is rice with toppings of wraps. They are called Shanghai. And then there, in the metallic tray, there is bone marrow.
Okay.
And on yeah, chicken, fried roasted chicken and beef and just tasty stuff.
Oh yeah, that looked delicious, man.
Yeah,
that looks good.
Yeah, this is
Saw that picture.
bone marrow.
Wow.
And
That's
this is
liver, isn't it?
no, that's not liver. That is known as Betamax. It's actually blood, clotted blood, that is in that cut in that shape. It's and
yeah.
I then there is chicken, various parts of chicken. And
Skewers.
What's it?
This is what I had: rice with beef pares as topping, along with
Nice.
Yeah, gotcha. No, that's cool. Yeah, looks like you really enjoyed yourself on, I suppose, this week at least. That's
yeah.
really good.
So that's where my crypto gains go.
That's where the hex goes.
And we have to, and yeah, we have to support the local economy, right?
Oh, just one more thing. If you guys haven't caught D-Raj's cheeky smile, I'll play it again. I think we've got way more views than before when I played it, so I'll play it again. This is D-Raj's satisfied smile that he cannot actually show. Oh, it's really hard to contain your smile when you're getting hex gains every day and enjoying nice food, can you? And laughing at people, kind of half laughing at people getting wrecked.
Oh, that's the life.
Yeah. Hey, we've gone past the hour, actually hour 15. I think we'll go for a quick break. Wales, have you got charts and all that?
Yeah, I'm good to go when we get back if you want.
Okay, all right. I'll start the roll.
Commercial break.
Yeah, we're off for a break. Be right back.
Thank you for keeping the likes up with the viewers.
Yo guys, Marco the Hexican, back at you. Just want to tell you, look what I just found. Woo! I found it, baby. I found it. Look at it. Not one, but two. LED on wheels. They're driving around New York City, promoting Hex, helping us out. How beautiful is that, guys? How beautiful. Mr. Richard Hart right there. Look how you do it. It's beautiful, man. Look at that. Exciting. NYC, close to Times Square. Hex is going everywhere, guys. All day, every day. 555 Club, like we said before. We ain't going nowhere. We just started. We just started. Look how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful, man. Hexicans, be proud, man. Be proud, because little by little, they ain't gonna stop us. They can't stop us. More and more every day. More and more every day. We gotta keep it on, man. Keep up the good fight. Just keep on making it, because we're gonna be big. We're gonna be bigger and bigger. I just spoke to the gentleman that does this. I spoke to the crew that does this. They told me the rates, how this works, stuff like that. I might take a little jab at this and, you know, run it for like a day or two. Around maybe Brooklyn, around Times Square again, you know. And if folks want to keep on doing this too, I'll pass on the information.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the fundamentals. If you like what you hear, by now, think twice, just remember.
Son, what time do you call this?
Dad, the crypto market is open real late. It's 1 p.m. I know, but my portfolio is building up. I'm getting real good at this.
You're sleeping in later and later. You said you were making money, but you're still living here at home. I think it's time you get a real job. McDonald's are open for applicants.
But Dad,
it seems like this crypto thing is just gambling. I read that someone lost over 1 million due to crypto addiction. How do I know that's not going to be you? It's better to work whilst you do this crypto thing than not be working and gambling all of the time.
It's not gambling if you know what you are doing. If I am busy, then I will miss all of the amazing market opportunities I have been getting lately, and I'm up like 20% on my entire portfolio this week.
I give it 1 week and you'll be down on your money.
Whatever, Dad, I guess you don't believe in me and I don't care what you say, you're wrong. And yeah, it may be risky, but I've got the plan, since I'm pretty good at it. This time in 6 months I'm going to be richer than you driving a Ferrari, and you'll be the one saying sorry, and I'll be the one telling you to get a real job instead of spending 8 hours at CVS, drinking Monster Energy Ultra.
What's wrong with Monster Energy Ultra?
It's just a boomer's drink for stupid boomers like you. I'm done with this conversation.
I can smell those lovely cheeseburgers already.
My portfolio is printing already, but it's definitely gonna take some time to do this through trading alone. This guy looks baller. How'd he get so rich?
What is up, guys? My name is Swagjack from Cryptic Investing, and I'm guessing that you clicked on this video because you want to get rich. Well, let me tell you, all of that is possible and more using our course that applies these 3 simple steps. 3 simple principles to get you living in a place just like this mansion. Do you want to drive a nice car? Do you want to buy a Lamborghini right off the bat because you felt like it? Does it make you a douchebag? Kinda. But it doesn't matter because everyone else is poor and you're rich. So what are you waiting for? Make sure you sign up to our course for only $420, limited time only. Usually it's $880, but we're gonna knock it down cheap for limited time only because you're special. Well, I gotta get out of here right now. I got some business to attend to, but I'll see you on the course.
Wow, I can literally see straight through this guy's BS. He's selling a course, quote unquote, training people how to trade stocks and crypto. And so many people have bought into this too. So all I have to do is hire expensive things and flex? Hi there, I'd like to hire the orange Lambo. Now I got that swag. Wanna learn how to trade crypto and stocks and get rich like me? It's easier than ever before, using our pro course, only $420 to get started. Is this actually real life? I'm so rich now, holy smokes. This is unreal. How can it be so easy to do this? Hey Dad, I'm rich now. I'm gonna go buy a Lambo and a mansion. Later.
I do my dance while I'm counting up the bands. Bad bitch with me while we speeding in the Jag. All I see is blue, but really not sad. I just signed a deal, now I'm richer than your dad. Hey, yeah, counting up, counting cash. I just did a dash while your girl be looking mad. All these rappers suck, yeah, all these rappers ass. I'm in love with Fendi, baby, used to rock a Gap. Hey, I was down bad, now all I do is stunt. I might cop a Lambo, baby, Billy got the funds. I remember being broke, that was no fun. Now me and shrimp, used to eating Captain Crunch.
Hello, who is this?
My name is Bogdanoff. I am calling because we noticed you found the classified strategy to make the money. I can make you a deal, but if you say no, there is a storm coming. You can either work with me, or you can pay me $3 of the money you have earned. You will discover on your trading account, and you are not able to sell right now. We know you love the Dogecoin, Shibcoin, Telcoin, and Cardano. If you do not cooperate, I will have to dump it. Is that what you want? You can decide. Okay? Gentlemen, we have a mission to accomplish. But at first, we need to get rid of our arch-enemy.
Bogdanoff, you monster. You will never get away with that.
Yes, kill him now.
You need to get out of there quick. They are coming for you.
Bonjour, Sminem.
You will get me alive.
The market is pretty bullish right now. If we keep holding, we are all going to make it.
Siminem, are you there? Guys, we lost him. I don't want to say this, but if there is a time to sell, it's probably right now.
No, what do you mean with time to sell? I thought we hold until we get rich.
Is the channel food ready?
Yes, the fossil fuel fund is ready. Tax evasion fund is ready too.
Good. Dump it.
But I believe I'm much stronger.
Breaking news. The crypto market is crashing.
Don't do it, idiot. Don't sell them.
That is Vitalik's long lost Indian brother.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
That was funny, bro. That was funny. Yo, what do you think about moving those towards the end of the stream? That's hard to follow up, man. Yo, that was super funny, man. Super funny, super funny. Oh my god. All right. So let's get everybody's favorite darling real quick, just for fun. Yeah, not looking too hot.
Just give me a second.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Yeah, just looking at this bad boy right now. Not looking too hot. Just from a pure, just looking at what it's doing, right? It's just not looking positive at all. So, the motion in the ocean is down right now. So every time the market consolidates, that means it's typically going to just do another one of these, right? A bottom doesn't do this. Never, right? Like you had the market bottom 3 times and it's still not breaking this trend line. That means danger. So if you're holding this, be very careful. Indicators are not looking positive either. You have a double top here with lower price, right? So that's very negative. And then you have a higher RSI that's called a inverted divergence because it should be the other way around, right? So it's actually like reverse. It should be showing you a higher high here and a lower high here, but in fact it's opposite. So it's a very negative sign. So just be aware of what's actually going on in the bigger picture. It's very important. You don't want to get caught slipping And yeah, just look at this, right? This is on a bigger time frame. This is 987 minutes, and this is as far as I go on the intraday basis. After that, it's a day for me, but it looks pretty much the same. You have MACD running into the zero line. You have momentum decreasing. Maybe we're gonna get another one of these, right? That's what it's currently looking like right now, and RSI is again hitting that wall or that ceiling, that proverbial ceiling. So not looking too positive for Bitcoin. I do not see a bounce anywhere greater than 50% of this box. And I pointed out these boxes before, right? And like, I get that it seems very trite, but you have to understand how markets work. TA is art. It is not science. You have to just put what you see on the chart. And if you see it, the market will respect it. And that's technical analysis. That's it.
So,
There is really, what's up?
Wells, can we blame this on Peter McCormick's fabulous appearance at the conference?
Yo, I couldn't even watch all of that, man. Wow. Yo, that was crazy. That was embarrassing, bro. And for anybody that wants to join, just let me get this out of the way. Now, I'm doing a stream tonight to talk about like leadership, followership, just community, just basic human qualifying characteristics, right? Because I think these are things that are important to discuss as a community. If you'd like to jump on the stream, let me know. Shoot me a message on Twitter or DM or on Telegram. Just let me know, because I just want to get as many people on this as possible. Because, man, this has been so embarrassing for Bitcoin that I don't even, it's like just wow. I have no words. Like, it's very embarrassing. I'm glad I don't own a single Satoshi. Shit's crazy. Talk about exposure to the downside, right? Like, you got to understand what all of this that just happened means. It's very, very bad. It's not positive at all. So, please join me tonight if you have the time. It's important to be discussed, man. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. But yeah, it's, the chart is just showing the same momentum that the community has, right? Down and to the right. Just not positive. So let's look at Ethereum, Bitcoin. As we can see, it's doing the dance, right? And it's going to keep doing it. And that's just what it's going to continue to be. Now, it looks like it's going to run into resistance right now. But we do have it running into the zero line. But it is above the middle band. So let's see. It might keep going. Hard to say. Spreads are a little weird. They don't trade like regular markets. So you don't really know what's going to actually happen. Because look at it, looks very bearish, right? You put the trend lines on there. It's not positive at all. And it's not positive because all of the trend lines, they are curving, right? The slope is being detracted, right? Like the angle is decreasing. So that's very negative. That's very bearish, because what that means is that the weight of the market is pressing, right, on the velocity of this move. And that's all it is. Hold on. There you go. So that's very important, right? Because we're under resistance, right? Because this was the last consolidation point, and then that becomes resistance. And the market has not been able to penetrate the moving averages to the upside successfully. Now, that's just a function of price structure and price action, right? And these are the things we want to look at. We want to study them just to understand what the market is doing in real time, right? Because that's all it is. It could change tomorrow, right? It could easily just do one of these, right? Where it just never goes anywhere and it just reverses. But it doesn't look like that's the case right now. So it's important to keep an eye out and understand what's actually going on. And that's just all I wanted to say about those. Let's take a look at our darling here. It's looking mighty fine. As always, just bull flagging, right? This is all Hex does. Um, and it's just doing what is called the pennant flag right now. And just like we have on this chart, you would just take this post and replicate it to get the potential impending move. So let's just do that real quick, just for fun. Not like it really means anything, because we just really never know what the market's going to do. And that's why TA is an art, right, and not a science. Now, there's science to how you measure what a move can be. But, you know, again, it doesn't mean anything because the market is going to do what it's going to do. There's been many measured moves that I've measured, right, that just didn't happen. So really doesn't mean anything. And this seems to be wrong. Let's see here. We got 1 point. Yeah, that's wrong. That's 5 cents basically. And this is, oh, okay. No, that's right. It's just the angle of the picture had me fooled because there's a log scale. Okay. Well, there you go. 12 cents could be the next stop. 12.5 cents, assuming no interruptions on the next breakout. So yeah, that's basically what's going on here. You see the MACD has reset. And how do we know it's reset even though it's all the way up here? It's basically because we have these troughs in the histogram, right? And sometimes they're not always gonna just come down here. Sometimes they're just gonna stay up, and the histogram is just gonna close up, because what this is, the histogram is just the difference between these two lines. So the histogram is really what you want to keep an eye on. This is secondary and this is primary, but understand that it's again a closed system. So it's important to understand what this is telling you with respect to this. And the same thing with the RSIs, right? They're both above the middle band. So it looks like we're still bullish as long as we stay above that middle band. And that's really all it is. And yeah, I'll get into the charts now. And again, this is, I moved the disclaimer to the back. I forgot to put it up here, but it's all right. We already went through one at the beginning. Oh, come on, man. Don't start. All right. So this is day 538 of the first 538 days of Hex's existence on an exchange with recorded data. And what we have here is Bitcoin on the zero line because they don't have an actual print yet. That'll come at day 562. Ethereum is at 8850 or 885 with 50 on its index. Hex is at 26,657. T shares are at 47,610. Now, one thing I want to note as far as the pricing goes is how we've basically stopped at 512 right now. That is basically a power 2 value. And now the market is pausing there like it usually does, right? To test, probe the area, right? We paused here, except for that when we paused here last time, it was support. But it was resistance first, but then it was more support than resistance. So right now, it's actually resistance, and it will become support eventually. So I just want to highlight that. And as always, the trend line is maintaining its structure of a log-based 2 curve. And it's just letting you know, the longer you hold this curve, the higher the values will be, just how it works. All right, and this is Hex Post Big Payday. And this is the first 200 days. We are at day 200 as of last night's crossover. If you are in the Eastern Standard Time Zone, if you are UTC, that is basically at 0000 hours when the crossover happens for Hex. And Hex again is at Post Big Payday is at 1115 on the index, which is insane, just whooping Bitcoin's ass by 40% on the first halving. So we're now coasting above all 3 Bitcoin halvings. We are surpassing the second one by 691% and the third one by 411%, just leaving them in the dust. And, you know, just to harp on this a little bit, maybe I haven't in a while. This is probably the most important chart that we have because it just lends proof to what everybody knows. in that Hex is better than Bitcoin. And here's your proof. Hex has only been around for 200 days, and it took Bitcoin, what? This was in 2012 when this happened, right? So Hex had already been, Bitcoin had already been down for 3+ years at this point, right? So this is important to understand. Nobody can refute this. Opinions are meaningless. This is fact. And on to the next one. T-shares to Ethereum and Bitcoin. T-shares to Ethereum is a pink line, and we are at 39.77% with the high most recently set at 43.91%. T-shares to Bitcoin are currently at 2.93%, with the most recent max being at 2.98%. And again, we're just setting new grounds and what value is, right? What a value proposition really is and how it works, right? Over time, the value should increase, not decrease, right? And this is why Hex is really a perfect representation of what should be. And this, luckily for us, is what is. So the stock to flow tractor and the T-share rate, we have a rate of 17,876, which comes from a cost of 10,000 Hex of $579.52, with a T-share cost of $1,035.97. And again, these values are as of last night's crossover for Eastern Standard Time and for 0 hours UTC. APY at 38.08%. Now, as always, my favorite chart. Hex index is at 26,657, and the payout per T-share sum line is giving us a gross Hex of 2,122.5 Hex paid out per T-share if you've been staked since inception. Now, this is pretty crazy stuff because let me know where else they're doing this at without having to give up any access to anything that you own. I'll wait. And as always, the line is just marking time before we start marking up the new value areas for Hex. And again, the line will leave behind the price returns just like it did before. And that's just how this baby works. Let's see. So payout index return metrics, 192,000%, basically. And yeah, I'll wait. Payout per T-share index increased fivefold since inception. Daily payout index, 17,300 on the index. Now, this is just crazy, right? This is since inception from zero to this, from zero to that. From zero, payout per T-share, some index, right? This is a percentage return, basically, an index form. So you would just merely subtract 100 from this number, and that's your percentage value. And that's 192,334%. That's insane, right? This is in 18, 16 months, right? Like, insane. All right, so daily payout. Give me a second, guys. Daily payout here for last night's crossover is 64,151 Hex. Payout per T-share is at 5.814, and total T-share count is at 11.033 million. You know, the system's working. And interestingly enough, we've been having a lot of emergency end stakes lately. And this is what's been causing this uptrend in the payout per T-share. And as we'll note here, the amount of Hex being paid out hasn't really increased over time. It's been pretty flat. And that's kind of how you know that this is just payout per T-share, or the penalties augmenting the payout per T-share more than anything else. Because otherwise, the spikes are in line with the big payout per T-share days that are as a result of major emergency end stakes. Because the pool, right, the pool is staying the same. It's not increasing like it was over here, right? The pool is contracted since then and is now just flat. So it's important to keep an eye on that as well, right? Because this change in the pool does determine the change in the payout and the change in the payout per T share. Important to remember that, because if it's like a lot of little entrants, right, into the pool, it won't affect this line as much, right? Like the line might even increase because it's a bunch of people getting in line, creating the same amount of shares, right? And that should bump up the daily payout in line with that amount of shares, which should also equivalently, right? Because everything is kind of staying the same out here. This should kind of remain the same or increase depending on how little the entrants are, because the smaller and the more, the bigger it is for you, the bigger you are, because the payout will increase proportionately. But, doesn't mean that people getting in are going to get a big pay, right? Because their T shares aren't going to be as much as yours, right? And that's where longer pays better comes into play, right? So it's all these little cool things about Hex that we get to talk about that. It takes a long time to get to this point to really dive into and understand, but they're important to understand because they really are what get you paid big time. So now we're getting to the expiring shares chart. And as always, this is for May, and May is over, right? So we'll just look at the change and what's happened to the T-share rate over time, because that's important, right? Because the T-share rate is the value proposition for Hex, and it's what keeps the system floating, right? This is why we don't have to worry about down moves in the markets, right? It's oblivious to us. We don't even know what that is. All we know is dips to buy, and we don't get enough of them. I'm pretty sure everybody can agree with that one. So this is going back to 511, and the expiring shares percentage is at, looks like 47% for this one, and then it drops, right, over a 2-week period, 12 days or so, to 40%, right? But then what we have during this time is that June is increasing as well, right? And we're not paying attention to that because we're focused on May, but here it is at 22%, and then boom, it jumps to 35. Over a 2-week period, from 22 to 35 over a 2-week period, while May decreased from 46.45 to 40, right? June increased 22 to 35, basically. And now we go to the next day, and it increased even further. June increased to 39%, while May stayed flat, right? So then, boom, the following day, May starts dropping. We're getting towards the end of the month. A lot of stakes are going to start disappearing. It's going to start ratcheting up the share rate, and it just so happens that that's just what's been happening. Right around this time, I think the share rate was 17,600 something. We're already at 17,817. I think it's crazy. It just doesn't stop going up. It's nonstop every day, and here we are at 40% in June, right? And here we are at 45, while May dropped off to 25. Right, and this is already 5 days later. So the following is June 2nd. May's done. Doesn't even matter anymore. Here we are, right where we usually are, 45%. And for today, we're still pretty much there. We dropped a little bit because people have been doing big week-long stakes, short stakes. So those are now coming out, right? Because we went from 530 to it pretty much being the same, right? It didn't really change for June. So now that it did, this is a small number of big stakes coming out. Not enough for it to matter because people are still primarily coming in doing the big short stakes for like 30 days or so. And here's a correlation as of last night. As always, at the crossover, 0. And I'm hoping we're no longer confused as to how this is 0 now. If you still are, please go and rewatch the stream I did last Sunday on the topic of cross-asset correlations, or just cross correlations. Hex versus Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? This is what we're talking about here. Hex is on the x-axis and Ethereum is on the y, as well as Bitcoin on the y. And as always, the important thing to note is how Hex is primarily on the positive side of the x-axis and not on the negative side of the x-axis, which is the key, because when somebody does this chart, right, they're going to look at this and it's going to tell them 3 things off the top. And I guess I should have just broken it down like this. But now that you guys know all of these three things, we can talk about them. It's going to tell them what the correlation is for the assets in question. And we see that there is none between them, right? It's not just Hex versus Ethereum. It's also Ethereum versus Hex. It works both ways, guys. So that's important to understand. 2, we see that the return streams for Hex are primarily positive. No doubt about it. There's nothing to talk about here. How do we know this? Because this scatter plot is an X and Y coordinate of each return for each point in time in this data set. So X is going to be for Hex, and that's going to be represented by this, which is about 69%. And I think I put it up last time, but let's do it one more time just for funsies. Why not? Which one is this? ETH? All right, yeah, this one. Let's add data label, add data call out. Boom, 65%. There we go. So this means 65% in X for Hex and a minus 23% for Ethereum, right, which is the y-axis. And this is all that these data plots are saying, right? So it's letting you know three things off the top: how good Hex is, how good Ethereum is. Now, if you do this for any two assets, you're going to get the same picture, right? It's just going to be for those different assets, and that's all. But it's all the same thing, right? It's letting us know that Hex is not correlated to either Ethereum or Bitcoin, and that it outperforms both of them consistently, whereas they're all over the place. All over the place. It's crazy, right? So those are just facts, right? At the time of yesterday's crossing, the price Hex was 5.795 cents. I think we're above that now. I think we were 5.8 cents earlier, right? Yeah, almost 5.9. So this is a little outdated already. Payout per T-share with respect to yesterday's dollar price at crossover is 33.69 cents, giving us a adjusted Hex value, of 39.489 cents. And guys, this is just the future, right? We've already seen this here, right? We traversed this level for a long time, wondering when it was actually going to come. And it came approximately 60 days later, right? This is March, right? That's when the adjusted future value for Hex was around 5-6 cents, right? And the price of Hex was not even a cent yet. Right? This is only 60 days ago. Only 60 days ago. So this is how fast the system works. You can't discount these metrics. They're very, very real. It's crazy. Let me know if you guys got any questions on these metrics, because they're very, very important. This is basically saying we're guaranteed, if this keeps working the way it's been working, we're guaranteed to traverse this level within 2 months. 60 days from now. That's what this is saying, right? Because that's what it's been, right? Woo. It's crazy, but it's true. And the longer this chart keeps going, right? And I already showed you guys last on the correlation stream that correlation between Hex and the T-shares are basically one now. So the longer this chart keeps going, the faster this is going to start moving up. Because again, this is just value accretion, right? This is all we've seen here. This is what this pink line is all about. That pink line is all about that value accretion, because that's the payout per T-share that you're receiving daily. This is what you got being staked in Hex every day. That pink line, right? So while that pink line, go ahead.
I just had an epiphany moment right now because of one of the previous charts. The one with the size of the share pool. You see, it is kind of flat, but if you have noticed, the duration of the payout, duration of the staking is increasing. That is, people are restaking their Hex longer, so total amount of T shares may remain the same. Actually, they are pushed out way into the future. So what that does is, the inflation rate for Hex is slowly decreasing and decreasing. That's how it's becoming deflationary.
Interesting. Very, very good point. Makes sense.
Great point. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Because it's true. You're like
So,
you're deferring the inflation because you're staking out longer.
yep. So, yeah, this is heard it first on HexAsian streams. So, if you want similar, want to hear similar points, please like and subscribe.
More in Hex PE, 17.2% versus the all-time low of 551% for the S&P 500 price to earnings ratio. This is crazy. Don't forget that, because this thing is not going to stop doing what it's doing. So there's a reason I show them all concurrently, or success in order, in successive order. It's by design. So, and don't forget, it's still here. Got a long way to go. So, that's all I got, guys. Let me know if you guys got any questions.
But what about Elon?
Yeah.
What about him? Oh my god.
Well, I hope people learn their lesson.
Yep.
Tools do tool things. That's all I got to say.
Did anyone see this?
Nah, didn't.
Again,
That's interesting.
speaking of Elon, there is a very good
I wonder if that's a Pulse ad.
I think that's Papa sent it to us, and I would assume that's the answer. Who is forking at the moment? Ethereum?
Yeah, nobody else is
know
doing it. So it's got to be Pulse. Not anybody that I'm aware of, anyway. I mean, I don't know everything crypto, so I don't know. I don't know. You guys would know better than me, honestly. I just know Hex okay. That's it.
Yeah, it's got to be Pulse.
It's got to be,
Hey,
right?
anybody see London Real is trying to step into the DeFi crypto space?
No, I haven't seen that. No. That's interesting.
Yeah, he's doing a DeFi academy or some crap. I'm like, dude, what?
Uh-oh.
So I was hitting him up. I'm like, all you need is Richard Hart and Hex.
Right.
In his live stream chat. I was hitting him up.
Yeah, I mean, if he figures that out, he's gonna be sorely disappointed. That's what it sounds like to me. Why else would he start an academy? Sounds like he's trying to get paid. I don't know.
Yeah.
A little sus.
Like,
not much to academize on that front.
I was like, interview Richard Hart, and he'll tell you all you need to know about DeFi and
fuck his whole world up. Straight up. I like Brian Rose, but he doesn't know much about this. Tell you that much.
Yep.
So let me answer RG3's question. What metric to watch to see the daily payout per T-share increase? What can we look at to see what future movement would look like? So, unfortunately, you cannot forecast anything as far as more than what I've shown. Maybe I'll pull up that chart. But just to answer the question and give you guys an idea of how you can kind of do it yourself, the main determinants of what drive the payout per T-share are the daily payout and the total shares, right? What we don't know and what we can't determine is each individual set of owners for each quantity of T-shares. Now, this is going to get a little jargony, but you got to bear with me. So think about it like this. You have a suitcase. Each suitcase has a compartment. Each compartment is different sizes, so only certain quantities of T-shares fit in each compartment, right? That's just a fact. The older the compartment, the bigger the amount of T-shares it can have, because that means they were around the longest. That's how the system works. Because T-shares gets more expensive every day, right? So what ultimately ends up happening is that over time, people have to pay more to get into the system. So it makes it harder for this number to go up, right? Because you can only afford but so many shares. However, there are more entrants now in the system, right? So this number still has to go up. It still has to go up. It might not go up as fast as we thought originally, right? But that depends, because it depends on who's actually entering the system. If it's people with money, then you better believe this total T-share count is going to go up to 12, 13, 14, 15. And this is the number that's going to actually determine how high this actually goes, right? Because you have to think about it. The system operates based on shares and the share count, right? The share count is what determines how many hex actually gets paid out, right? So with that in mind, that is what ultimately determines the payout per T-share as well, because that T-share count, but that count is what determines this. Now, I've never actually done the math, but now I wonder. I'll have to take a look at that. So I hope that makes sense. If that wasn't clear, let me know. But that's basically what it is, right? You got A, which is a function of B, or you have A, where B is a function of A, and C is a function of B. Right? Like you can't have one without the other. So this is the first domino to take a hit, and then this gets affected, and then this is affected. So I hope that makes sense. What about the groups of big maturing stakes coming due? Will we move it, or new share entries will move more drastically? Okay, yeah. So questions like that, right? So here's the effect of short stakes. The effect of short stakes is we have to remember the two things that drive up the T-share rate. Longer pays better and bigger pays better. That's what drives up the T-share rate. So the longer pays better and the bigger pays better is what ultimately determines that ROI, right? But here's the thing. The T-share rate also respects the size of the stake, right? Because it's a two-part system from that perspective. So what the short stakes are doing is that they're causing, while a menial effect, a constant one in the T-share rate, which is always going to be higher. So while it's not jumping 200 hex every time it jumps, because they're not always Genesis T-shares that are coming out, what's happening is that the bigger pays better effect is taking hold in the T-share rate, and it's actually causing the T-share rate to move up more consistently than we would normally expect it to. Because just like in the past, I don't know, day, it's already gone up 4 times, and like 2 to 4 hex each time. So that's already like 8 to 12 hex in one day. Boom, just like that. And 8 to 12 hex is now times by 6 cents, right? Like it's not a penny anymore. So all of that pushes that T-share rate higher. All of that, because that dollar price going up in hex is a function of the dollar price in T-shares going up, right? Like it's important to remember that they're a one-to-one relation in reality, unlike anything else that's out there that's actually a one-to-one relation. So the higher T-shares go, the higher hex has to go. So that's an important thing to keep in mind, right? Bigger pays better has that effect. It's going to drive up that T-share rate, and it's going to always make it more expensive to acquire T-shares. Like, for example, I have this liquid bag of hex, and I've been checking it since the whole stake thing because I'm dying to stake it, right? And, I don't like having liquid hex or whatever. But hold on, let me finish. At the start, I took this bag of hex I had, I split it in half, I kept one half. One T-share rate is like 3.54 because I staked it 555. And now that same t-shirt rate is down to 3.18 or something, right? For the same length of time in like a month, right? So that's the t-shirt rate making it more expensive. It's not going to be drastic, but it's going to be more expensive nonetheless. Like 3 months ago, it cost $100 a t-shirt. 4 months ago, 5 months ago, right? Now it costs 1,000, and that's a function of all of the stakes starting and ending, not just big, not just long, not just big and long, but all of them, right? Because it's a whole dynamic system. So the whole system is going to take effect, right? Very important to keep that in mind. So even the short big stakes do matter because they do drive up the t-shirt rate, even if minimally. Because the whole point is that it's becoming more expensive, and that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. Go ahead, D. I'm done.
Yeah, no, just to mention or clarify that the new stakes don't change the share price at the moment they are made.
Right. That's
The
also true.
share price only changes when the stakes end, and that is
That's right.
how it is calculated. So
That's right. It's only at the end of a
so
of a stake. That's right.
the new of this. Yes, look at.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, you guys don't have to worry. I mean, price is gonna go up above 6 cents. It's just what has to happen. T-shirt rate isn't gonna stop going up. So pretty simple. With all these big groups of maturing stakes restaking drive this. I think people become. Yeah, yeah. So that's an interesting thing, right? RG is saying is that he's thinking that these big groups of maturing stakes are going to eventually end up staking long, and that's right. Because what seems to be happening is that a lot of this short staking could very well be. It depends on if you're doing the wallet address due diligence. I don't do all that, but it seems like because the duration length is getting longer, as D noted earlier. I'm gonna check it right now. The It's 5.69. Wow, the last time I saw it, it was 5.68. So that's kind of crazy. Um, so here's the thing: as time passes, and you don't buy more hex or stake more hex, your duration is gonna go down naturally because time is passing. Right? Like that's by default. That's going to naturally happen. Right? So you'll see that in the Staker app over time. It's going to change. It has to happen because time is passing. That doesn't stop. So it's the same thing with the t-shirt rate. The t-shirt rate is always going up. That's never going to not happen, right? Time is value of money in this system, right? Time is money here, literally. So the longer it goes sideways, the higher we go the next time we rip it. That's pretty much just what it is. And all we're going to see is a whole bunch of these because there's nothing else for Hex to do because nobody's selling it. It's a true decentralized market. Like you guys have to understand that, right? Like when you look at the rest of these markets, they move erratically like that because they have so many external forces on them. It's not because, oh, they're liquid. Like, no, they're not liquid. That's bullshit. Right? Like, look at this. How does this happen? Right? This is what, $500 trillion market or something, or $500 billion market, or whatever Ethereum is, or 200 billion. I don't know. 316 million or a billion supposedly, right? I mean, clearly it wasn't this at the start. So let's see what it was at the start. Oh, really? All right. Can you not chart market cap in this shit? You can't chart market cap on this thing?
No, don't think so.
No, not on Novix, I think.
Well, alrighty then. Let's see. Where is this thing? Here we go. All right, so total is all crypto, right? Bitcoin plus everything else. This total minus total 2 is just Bitcoin, because total 2 is everything minus Bitcoin. So if you do everything minus everything but Bitcoin, you're left with Bitcoin. So just looking back at what the market cap was back at the bottom, it closed at, wow, nothing. That's crazy. $54 billion. Right? It's safe to assume that Ethereum was probably like 80% of that value at that point in time. So that's probably like 40 billion or so, right? 40 billion plus. Right? And now we're all the way up at 900 plus billion. Right? So how does that happen? That's a lot of fiat, right? That doesn't come out of nowhere. And understanding that whole flow aspect of markets is very important. That's why I always talk about stable coins and what they're doing, how they're moving, right? Are they up? Are they down? Right now they're down. And guess what? Look at the rest of the market. It's green. Well, except for Dodge, right? Everything else is green. That's by design. This is what I'm always talking about. This is why you got to watch what the stable coins are doing. Watch them, because they give you the green red light. They really, really do. If you're playing the right time frames, you'll get some very good signals just from staring at those bad boys. But duration increasing, right, is always gonna make Hex just fly, because we're already above 6 cents. Great. Because that's just what has to happen, right? The pricing value is there. Like, the value proposition is there because it pays something, right? So people will just have to come to their own determination as to how much liquid Hex they want to have or not, because I understand everybody isn't going to want to stake Hex for the max, right? Everybody doesn't want to play that game, and that's fine. But at the same time, it's on you to determine if you even want to keep any liquid Hex, because then you're just getting knocked out of the system, right? Like, your Hex is becoming more expensive, but you're not going to really be able to afford those T-shares because you're not making that Hex. That's the whole purpose of the system, right? Yeah. Because I don't know if you guys remember that chart I had a while back, that forecast chart. Let me see if I have this thing open. Oh, yeah, I do. Hold on. This is the chart I was talking about. This is like what RG was talking about earlier, about like forecasting or whatever for like the T-share payout and stuff. And we've seen this chart before on this stream here. Hold on, let me. Hold on, PowerPoint. All right, let me just get the font right here, and then we'll be good to go.
HexAsians pump.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
Nice.
That is right. We are not here to play games, folks. We are here to educate and help people understand the value in the system, because it's not a game. Time doesn't wait for you, and neither does a T-share rate.
Yeah, it clicked over from 812 to 818 this morning.
Yeah, it's not playing games, man. It's not playing games. Mm-hmm. It's definitely not playing games. All right. So the blue line is the T-share rate, right? Right now, it's at 17,000 whatever, right? This chart, 17,800 whatever. When I first did this chart, it was here, 16,900, right? This was March 7th. This is almost 3 months ago. So a week after I did this chart, the forecast was already behind. So this number is ultimately going to be higher than what we are looking at on this chart now, right? Because the reality is that more people are going to enter this system once they realize it exists. It's already happening, right? Like, that's not even debatable. That's just what's already happening because it works, right? And that's all people care about. They don't care about anything else, right? So imagine a T-share rate of 1 billion hex. Like, that's retarded, right? That doesn't even make any sense. So you just ignore that because it doesn't even matter. The first number I came up with was like 2,000 hex. And I think the T-share rate was like 133,000 or something like that. I was just playing with this the other day. So just ignore this because this number is no good, right? Because this is a crazy thing. This doesn't even make any sense, right? This can't happen. This is why forecasts are no bueno, right? Like the first one I came up with was probably good enough. And that first number gave us like a $2 million cost for 10,000 hex, which was about 2,000 per hex. But we were already behind that a week after I did that forecast. So it's not 1 billion, right? Or it's not 34. It's not going to be 1 billion hex, so that's retarded. It's not going to be 340,000 whatever per hex, right? That's crazy. So this would actually need tweaking, but the whole point of this chart is to show when T-shares will become deflationary, right? And it's when the T-share rate increases at a pace greater than or less than the increase in the price of hex, right? And that's the whole point of this chart. That's what I wanted to show, right? Because this is really the whole point. The system is going to be around for a while. Right now is a time where the system is going to give the most yield that it's ever going to give because there's not that many entrants. There's not that many bodies in the system, not that many entities in the system. So with that, right, you're going to have high interest rates because that's just how it's designed to work. It's designed to work off of the staking function. So, keep that in mind. Maybe I got to show that little chart. Hold on. I think I have it somewhere. Where is that chart? Hold on, I found it. Let me just add it to the slide real quick so we can talk about it. I don't know where it came from, but it's a great chart because it really details what people always want to know about. Hold on. All right. This is what people want to know about, right? Like, how much is the yield? How's the yield going to change over time? Blah, blah, blah. It's as a function of staking supply, right? So the more people stake, the lower the ROI goes, and the higher the price goes. It doesn't really matter what the price does if people aren't staking. People could buy it up and not stake it, and the yield. And if the staking percentage stays the same, 9.7%, whatever it is, then the payout is going to stay where it's at, which is in between 41 and 36.9%. And that's what we've been seeing, right? Because I think it's at 9.8 or 9.7 or something like that. 9.694. So the lower the staking percentage, the higher the yield. That's how the system works. It has nothing to do with price. Price is going to be strictly a function of the T-share rate and this. It's not the other way around. Because people buy in hex to stake it, right? Like that's the whole purpose of the coin. Whoever doesn't gets left behind because they're not participating in the full benefit of the system, right? That's how it's designed. Because while your hex go up in cost value, you're not acquiring more hex for holding the hex. You understand? So you're missing one leg to the stool. And that's why it's important to understand where you are in the picture, right? Like, this is ridiculous. 551%. We're at 17.2 in terms of value, right? In terms of valuation, value, what's there, what's being given to people, right? And it's 17% of $1 where we're at right now. and it's crazy because nobody's looking at it like that, right? 17% is not a lot, but people view it as if it's nothing. I don't understand, right? Like they rather pay 551% instead of getting in early and riding the wave of something that's gonna just be crazy. And the data is there to prove it. It's not like you can even make this up, right? It's there, right? Like it's just there. And the system is designed to work like this. That's it. You know, if everybody stakes, then you're only getting paid out the 3.69%. That's all. That's what happens when the system is fully staked. That's it. That's it. That is all you get. So
That
that's all I
still
got.
beats the legacy. Still beats legacy though, so that's good.
Oh, by a mile. By a mile. But the odds of this happening are almost zero, right? Like 100% stake. Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Don't think that would ever happen. Yeah, this includes everything. That's right, RG. This includes everything.
Yeah, and to say what Balaji is saying, yeah, the numbers are really blowing people's
Yeah,
brain.
because we're so early. That's the most important thing. We're super early.
That reminds me of the meme that what happens when you use 100%
I mean, you guys got to
of your
realize there
brain.
are going to be people. Check this out. There are going to be people that are going to have billions of hex at the end of this first 15-year run. Right? Because there are people that have millions of hex now. And if they're making 40% every year on that crazy amount of millions of hex, you better believe they're going to have billions at the end of it. Yeah. Because that's how compound interest works. So while this number seems far-fetched, it's really not. It's really, really not. It might be 15 years too early, but it's not far-fetched. We might see it on our lifetime. Very well see it. Because you got to understand, the system does what it does. It doesn't care. It doesn't wait, right? It just moves. And this is completely separate. This is going to be nothing, right? Like the system is going to do what it does. Right? So staking is independent of this. The T-share rate is always going to go up no matter what. The yields payout by the system is a function of the staking percentage, and it can only cap out at 3.69%. And that's only if we hit 100%.
Yeah, which we never will.
Yeah, I highly doubt that. So we're basically right here in the scale in between these two bad boys in graphical form.
Gotta love the genius of Richard Hart and the immutable code that will
That's right.
never change and will keep paying.
That's right. I mean, look, we're so early. I don't know how you can't at least do one 4x5 stake. You got to at least do one.
Yeah.
At least one. Damn. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
This is given that there is no black swan event happening. But
I mean, I couldn't imagine a black swan event for crypto. Like, that would affect Hex.
But actually there is, and that is going to be known as pulse chain. And it's going to be crazy. People are, I think people underestimate what it's going to do, but yeah, we will only find out when it happens. That kind of reminds me, or this was something I wanted to cover earlier, and I hope we can have a good discussion because this was kind of discussed or someone had this question on Richard Hart's stream, and so I would like people like have a discussion with you guys as well. Like uh, it was regarding Gresham's law and E-hex versus P-hex. So for like Gresham's law states that uh, drives out bad money.
Yeah.
So how will both of them compare? So before that, we have a discussion. I would like to point out. I kind of agree with Richard's statement about it, but that I have a difference of opinion regarding that. This law was stated uh, uh, at the time when commodity money was a thing.
Boom, six
Like
cents.
I think it was the state of Virginia that was using tobacco leaves as a currency. So at that time, traders would keep the better leaves or leaves of tobacco which were intact for for export, where they would fetch a higher price on the market and trade the imperfect leaves of tobacco and use it for a daily currency. So that is where this law came from. And I think we kind of see it in daily life, like at least if you are doing uh, any transactions using paper notes, uh, say, so if you are having say two notes, one you got fresh off the ATM, newly printed one, and one is a used one, like oily and crinkled. So which one would you spend first? Have to like now again, people have two kind of opinions. Some people like to spend the crinkled one earlier because it looks bad, while some some like to spend the fresher one earlier because the crinkled one is kind of the one has been circulated a lot, so it is kind of proven to be true, or we don't know if the fresh one may be fake. So it's, yeah, it doesn't matter whether both of them will be of the same value, but these kind of decisions are taken, and some prefer one over the other. So similarly, there is going to be a preference about e-hex or e-hex. Which one do you want to use? Each one has its own merit, but again, this is crypto. If the real utility of things actually mattered, Bitcoin won't be the top market cap.
Let's
So
explode.
yeah, so yeah, what do you think, guys? Wow, now, which one do you think? Do you think one will be outperforming the other, E versus PX?
I think the one with the least friction might. Meaning like the ease of access. Like if Pulse Chain makes it easier to buy P Hex than it is to buy E Hex, then yeah, it's definitely gonna fly. Because they're both the same thing, right? Doesn't matter.
Hold on. I was about to say, this is my expression whenever Wales does his charts. That's me. Actually, wait, I've got one more. Money's important. This one you all agree.
So it's not that they. So
Stop trying to be a bowler when you got no dollar. Be a true player, not a faker. Come on, man. Shit. Let's go get this money. $5 makes me holler. 'Cause no money, no honey.
No money, no honey.
Yo, that was real. I think I seen that guy before too. That shit is real. So let me answer Cryptomatic. So it's not that both don't have value. It's just that I think that if one is gonna separate from the other, it's gonna be P-Hex flying ahead of E-Hex. That's all. They're both gonna definitely have their value. But it's just about ease of access. That's all.
Yeah, and basically,
overall.
which one people are buying. So, and one other thing I had in like the share rate on PHEX may increase in separately
Now
from
that I wonder how that's
PX.
gonna actually work, because that's a good question. Shouldn't it be the same? I don't know.
So,
You would
so
think two
initially,
different rates, right?
yeah, because initially it will be the same, but as stakes end on both sides separately, it will be different on both sides.
Right.
So, and I expect a lot of those small stakes which were we are not able to end stake on Ethereum due to high gas fees may
Yeah, they will definitely unstake on PHEX for sure.
yeah, so that will change the share rate.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good call. I hadn't even thought that far ahead. Yep.
Oh, that's great.
That's from accident, I think, an hour ago.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Hex solves
awesome.
everything, man. What doesn't Hex solve? Tell me. What does not Hex solve? It's amazing. Tis amazing.
Wales, you've been accused of sounding like
John Cena Senna. I don't know who that is.
No, him.
Hold on.
John Cena.
John Cena. Oh no, that's horrible. I don't think I sound like that guy.
No.
The fuck? Sound like me. Nah, it's all good. I don't give a fuck, man. I heard he's a China sympathizer though. So fuck that guy.
Yeah.
He
is.
Yeah. And
well, not a China sympathizer, but a CCP sympathizer. Let me rephrase.
We know what you meant.
Yeah, but it's better to be clear.
Yeah.
You know, in my head,
I sound like Vin Diesel. Come on, man.
Actually, now that he mentions it.
Oh, Jesus.
You guys out of control. Hold on, I think there was a question to answer here. Nope.
T-shirt.
Nope, no questions to answer, just my head. Yeah, exactly what Motley said. Exactly
Yeah, I agree with Motley there. Yeah,
exactly what Motley said. That's just what it's gonna have to be.
Yeah, it's just the nature of the
Man, it's just less friction. That's just all it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Wales, just when you mentioned No Bueno, I thoroughly enjoyed your stream with John Aguilera. Was it John?
Ah, yes, Johnny Hex, yes.
Yeah. Even though I didn't understand it, I just put it in the background. And
Spanish
I've
ASMR.
always tried to picture you, or try and imagine how you look like, and this is the closest I can find. Okay, this is the call I'm expecting at some point on a secure call on Telegram, and you say you'll be coming to get me. Yep, you're gonna pick me up on the yacht. That's it.
It's gonna happen one day.
Close enough. We're working our way towards it. That's for sure.
That's the whistling sound coming off the port side of that yacht. That's the whistling you're hearing.
Oh man, you guys are too fucking much, man. Too funny, too funny. Yeah, 6.04 cents. There you go. Keep it pumping.
HexAsians pump.
That's it, baby.
Woo!
That's it. That's it. And we'll get another one tomorrow.
That's it.
So we're not going to stop the stream until we flip XRP. So let's keep going.
Nah. That's too funny, man. Let's see. Where is that shit at? Let me see. Oh, wow. We're fucking close. Damn.
Yeah.
9 billion, really. That's it. That's
we
not
could
a
do
lot.
it this week.
Only 9 billion?
Yeah, that's not a lot.
Oh.
I mean, when you got 572 billion in supply, 9 billion ain't shit. And that's the game people play. Like, that's the game that he's playing, you know? Because it's easy. Like, oh, you want to make market cap rankings important? No problem. Here you go. Because it's dumb. It's clearly dumb. It's clearly dumb. It doesn't mean anything. How many coins are out there better than most of the coins in the top 10? Right? A bunch. So.
Yeah.
With that, are we good, or you guys want to keep strolling? Where did is Kev?
Yeah,
Kevin?
I think we are good. Just I forgot to mention one news from Asia. So if you may consider it as Korea versus America, or more importantly, it is Android versus iOS, and Samsung has come up with its weapon of mass destruction. Middle class working.
Roll it? Okay.
Can you roll that clip?
Let's do it. Well, that's waifu, right? That's what it is.
Yeah, actually, I think the US is going to take strict. I think they have already taken strict action against it, and if you think that is wrong, actually they have made a new rule for it. If you don't know, just Google don't do it on stream, but
No, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, no.
you find about it, then Google Samsung Sam virtual assistant rule 34. It's going to blow your and yeah, I think that's I think we should end the stream on this high note.
Yeah, just look it up at your own time. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, that was funny. I just couldn't even, and I was just like, really? I just shook my head. Like,
All right. We're going to be back tomorrow, same time. Let's just leave it as that. Thanks, chat. Oh my god, this is actually quite a long stream. I think we did a 2 hour 40 minute. This is the longest we've ever been. I suppose. Hey Vince, is anyone we need to shout out, or we'll go through the chats really quickly, shall we?
Yeah. I guess we might as well shout him out. Was that what's his name? Juicy Smollett.
Juicy Smollett.
Yeah.
Not that.
Shout out to Juicy.
Yeah,
not the actor. Not the actor.
Yeah. The one in our community. He shouted us out on Richard's live stream.
Yes,
and Richard read his comment. Yep. So
yes, he did. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
We are putting in the work, guys. Putting in the work.
Thanks, chat.
Oh, he's here.
Right.
Awesome.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Yeah. What's up, Juicy?
What's up, Juicy?
Thanks for the shout out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Any
Thank everybody for joining. It's always a pleasure.
Pleasure, gentlemen, ladies. Hopefully, no kids.
Yeah.
Peace out, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Do it again tomorrow.
Have a good day. And catch you then.